5 Signs your prostate is in trouble and what to do immediately. Early detection and action can save your health. Have you ever found yourself suddenly mapping out where the nearest bathroom is before you even sit down at a restaurant? Or maybe you're waking up more than once in the middle of the night, shuffling half asleep to the bathroom, wondering when this became your new normal. It's one of those things we don't really talk about, isn't it? But it affects so many men, especially after 60. Changes in your bathroom habits might not seem like a big deal at first, but they can be your body's way of waving a little red flag, especially when it comes to your prostate. Now, I know talking about the prostate doesn't exactly light up the room. It's not the kind of topic we bring up over coffee. But here's the truth. Your prostate plays a big role in your daily comfort, confidence, and yes, even your independence. And the good news is that when you know the signs and take the right steps early, you can avoid much bigger problems down the road. So today, we're going to talk like friends, just you and me, and we're going to walk through 5 key signs that your prostate might be in trouble, and more importantly, what you can do about it right away. Let's start with something simple but very telling: a weak stream. If it feels like your urine is dribbling out instead of flowing strong and steady like it used to, that's something to pay attention to. It doesn't mean you're broken or that something's terribly wrong. It could just mean your prostate is enlarged and pressing on the urethra, making it harder for urine to pass through freely. This happens to a lot of men, and it's not your fault. As we age, the prostate naturally tends to grow, but if it grows too much, it can make that once quick trip to the bathroom feel more like a slow and frustrating event. And what many don't realize is, it often doesn't get better on its own. But here's what you can do. First, slow down and empty your bladder completely. Don't rush. A few extra seconds can help ensure you're not leaving urine behind, which can increase your risk of infections. And try gently pressing just above your pubic bone at the end of urination. This can sometimes help release that last bit that's holding on. Even better, look at what's going on in your daily routine. Are you drinking caffeine or alcohol late in the day? These irritants can worsen an already sluggish stream. Swapping that evening coffee for a herbal tea might sound small, but it could make a noticeable difference. Now, let's talk about something else that often gets brushed aside: urgency. That sudden can't-wait feeling that sends you scrambling for a bathroom. If that's happening more often, or if it feels like you're not going to make it in time, that's another red flag. The bladder and prostate work closely together. When the prostate gets enlarged or irritated, it can confuse the bladder, making it feel like it needs to empty before it actually does. This kind of urgency can sneak up on you. Maybe you've started planning shorter outings. Maybe you avoid long drives. And slowly, without even realizing it, your world gets smaller. But it doesn't have to stay that way. Bladder training is one of the best things you can do. That means gradually increasing the time between bathroom trips, even by just 10 or 15 minutes at a time, to help your bladder regain control. And if you're not already doing pelvic floor exercises, now's the time to start. These simple movements, often called Kegels, can help support the muscles that control urination, giving you more strength and stability. It's not about pushing through or ignoring it. It's about giving your body tools to do its job better. Another sign that often goes unnoticed is nighttime urination, also called nocturia. Now yes, getting up once during the night isn't the end of the world, but if it's happening 2, 3, even 4 times, it's worth investigating. Your sleep suffers, your energy drops, and let's be honest, it's just plain annoying. This can be linked to prostate swelling, but it can also be influenced by other factors like drinking too many fluids in the evening or eating salty foods before bed. Try cutting back on drinks an hour or 2 before sleep and watch for any snacks that might be sneaking in extra sodium. A light walk after dinner can also help stimulate your body's natural rhythm and encourage fluid release before bedtime. And while we're on the topic of patterns, start paying attention to how your body reacts after certain meals. Some foods, especially spicy ones or acidic drinks like orange juice and tomato-based sauces, can irritate the bladder and prostate. Keeping a simple food journal can help you connect the dots between what you eat and how your body behaves later. You don't have to overhaul your entire diet overnight. Just start by noticing. Awareness is the first step to change. What's powerful is that these signs, weak stream, urgency, nighttime trips, they don't mean disaster. They mean awareness. And awareness gives you the chance to act early before things get worse. You might be surprised how much can improve with just a few small shifts. And remember, there's nothing embarrassing about looking out for your health. In fact, it's one of the most responsible and courageous things you can do, not just for yourself, but for the people who love and depend on you. Let's keep the momentum going and talk about what else might be signaling a prostate that needs some care. Now, here's something that many men quietly put up with, thinking it's just part of getting older, but it's not something you have to live with. I'm talking about that uncomfortable feeling of not fully emptying your bladder. You know, that sensation where you've just finished going, but it still feels like there's more left behind. Maybe you even go back a few minutes later just to try again. This isn't just inconvenient, it's your body's way of saying something's off. When the prostate becomes enlarged, it can squeeze the urethra just enough that your bladder can't push everything out effectively. So, what happens? That leftover urine sits there, and over time, it can lead to irritation or even urinary tract infections. Here's what can help. Take a moment after urinating and just sit or stand quietly. Give your bladder a few extra seconds. Some men even find that gently rocking side to side or forward and back helps release that last bit. It might sound odd, but you'd be amazed at how these simple movements can improve flow and comfort. And most importantly, it's about being patient with your body rather than rushing it. Another thing to think about is your fluid intake. Yes, we need to drink enough water, but when and how you drink, it also matters. Sipping throughout the day is much better than guzzling large amounts all at once, especially in the evening. And if you enjoy herbal teas, look into those known to support prostate health, like nettle root or green tea. Just be sure they're caffeine-free in the evening, since caffeine can stimulate the bladder and keep you running to the bathroom more often. Now let's talk about something that can feel even more personal, but is just as important: sexual health. If you've noticed changes in your libido, your ability to maintain an erection, or a decline in satisfaction, these could be related to your prostate. The prostate plays a role in producing some of the fluids that contribute to ejaculation, and when it's inflamed or enlarged, everything in that area can feel off. This doesn't mean you're broken, and it certainly doesn't mean your intimate life is over, not even close. It just means your body is asking for attention and care. And believe it or not, getting to the root of prostate health can actually improve your confidence and performance in more ways than one. What can you do about it? First, don't suffer in silence. Talk to your doctor. Yes, it can feel awkward, but your physician has seen this countless times and is there to help you, not judge you. Second, stay active. Regular movement improves blood flow, reduces inflammation, and helps regulate hormones, all things that benefit your prostate and sexual function. Even walking for 20 to 30 minutes a day can make a meaningful difference. Add in some gentle stretching or yoga, and you're giving your body the support it needs without pushing it too hard. Remember, it's not about becoming an athlete overnight. It's about moving with intention and showing your body that you're still in the game. If you enjoy resistance bands or light weights, those are fantastic too. And pelvic floor exercises, which many folks associate only with women, are incredibly effective for men. They strengthen the muscles that help control urination and support the prostate, and no one even knows you're doing them, so you can work on this anytime, anywhere, whether you're watching TV or waiting in line at the pharmacy. You see, the goal here isn't just to patch up the symptoms, it's to create an environment in your body where your prostate can function as smoothly as possible. That means reducing inflammation, improving circulation, and making sure your lifestyle supports your health instead of working against it. And let's not forget about stress. You might not think stress has anything to do with your prostate, but it actually does. Chronic stress can throw your hormones out of balance and increase inflammation throughout your body. It can also make your muscles tense, including the ones that affect urination and pelvic comfort. So how do you manage it? You don't need to meditate for hours a day or go on a silent retreat. Even 5 or 10 minutes of deep breathing in the morning, a relaxing walk through nature, or simply doing something you enjoy, like gardening, listening to music, or reading a good book, can do wonders for calming your nervous system. Give yourself permission to slow down. You've earned it. Your body responds well when you treat it with kindness, and your prostate, though small, will thank you in big ways. Now that we've covered some of the more physical signs and what you can do about them, it's time to look at one of the most commonly ignored indicators, a sign that might seem small on the surface, but could be your biggest warning light yet. One of the most commonly ignored signs is a subtle change in the strength of your urine stream. It might not seem like much at first. You press to go, and instead of a steady, healthy flow, it feels slower, maybe even interrupted. Some men chalk it up to age, others to dehydration, but here's the truth. A weak stream often points straight to the prostate. Picture your prostate like a ring wrapped around a garden hose. When it's healthy, water flows freely. But if that ring starts tightening, the flow gets restricted. That's what happens when your prostate is enlarged or inflamed. The pressure builds, but the release gets weaker and slower. Sometimes it even feels like you have to push harder just to get things going, and that effort can leave you feeling drained or frustrated. You may not talk about this with your friends or family, and that's perfectly okay. But what matters is that you don't ignore it, because over time, straining can cause other problems, like damage to the bladder muscles or infections, and we want to stay far ahead of that. So what can you do if you've noticed this happening? First, hydration is still important, but it's how and when you hydrate that matters. Avoid drinking large amounts of water all at once. Spread your fluid intake throughout the day and ease off a few hours before bed. That gives your bladder time to process without being overloaded all at once. Second, this is where diet plays a surprisingly big role. Foods rich in antioxidants and healthy fats, like tomatoes, salmon, walnuts, and berries, can help lower inflammation, which may ease pressure on your urinary tract. Try swapping out fried or heavily processed foods for something more colorful and natural. You don't have to change everything overnight. Just begin to make small changes, one meal at a time. And third, posture makes a difference too. Believe it or not, sitting for long periods in slouched or compressed positions can affect blood flow and even press against your pelvic organs. Make it a habit to get up, stretch, and walk around every hour or so, even if just for a couple of minutes. It gets the blood moving and takes some pressure off the lower abdomen. Now, let's not overlook how emotions connect to our physical health. When men feel frustrated or embarrassed by urinary symptoms, they often bottle those emotions inside. You might try to pretend it's not happening or just live with it quietly. But that stress, that inner tension, it adds up. And guess where your body tends to hold stress? Yep, the pelvis. That area tightens, circulation worsens, and your symptoms can actually get worse. That's why even a simple self-check-in every day, asking yourself how you're feeling, taking a deep breath, or doing a short breathing exercise can have ripple effects through your entire body. When you're more relaxed, your muscles, your bladder, and even your prostate respond positively. Stress reduction isn't just good for your mind, it's powerful medicine for your body. And speaking of muscles, one final sign we need to bring up is leakage or dribbling after you think you've finished. That small spot in your underwear or that annoying sense that something didn't finish right after urination, that too is often tied back to the prostate. When your bladder isn't completely empty, or when the muscles around your urethra are weak, urine can slip out slowly over time, especially when you're walking, bending over, or even laughing. Here's the silver lining. This kind of leakage is often preventable. Pelvic floor exercises, also known as Kegels, can help regain control. And they don't require special equipment or hours of training. It's all about targeting the right muscles. The next time you go to the bathroom, try stopping the flow midstream. The muscles you use to do that? Those are the ones you want to gently strengthen over time. Practice tightening and releasing them a few times a day, while sitting or lying down. No one even has to know you're doing it. And finally, don't underestimate the importance of professional help. There's no shame in reaching out to a urologist, someone who specializes in male urinary health. They can assess your symptoms, recommend non-invasive tests, and guide you through real solutions, from dietary tweaks to supplements and more. You might even discover that a problem you've dealt with for years has a surprisingly simple fix. Too many men over 60 suffer in silence, believing this is just the way things are supposed to go. But that couldn't be further from the truth. Your body still has plenty of fight left. With the right attention and care, you can regain control, comfort, and confidence in your daily life. You deserve to feel strong, secure, and free to move about your day without worry. Whether it's going on long walks, spending time with your family, or just enjoying peace of mind when you're out and about, it all starts with listening to the signs, taking action, and trusting that it's never too late to make things better. Now that we've talked through these powerful signals and how to respond to them, let's take a moment to bring everything together. And this is where it all comes together, because knowing the signs is only part of the journey. What really makes the difference is what you do next, what steps you choose to take from here, starting right now. And the good news is, those steps don't have to be dramatic or overwhelming. In fact, the smallest shifts can lead to the biggest relief. Maybe you've noticed the frequent bathroom trips or the slower stream. Maybe you're dealing with a little leakage or even discomfort that you've brushed aside for months. You're not alone. Truly, you're not. These issues are more common than you think. And most importantly, they're not a life sentence. They're a signal. And when your body sends a signal, it's asking for a little help, not waving a white flag. Your body, even in your 60s, 70s, and beyond, still has incredible capacity to heal, adapt, and strengthen. But just like any partnership, it needs you to show up for it. That can be as simple as changing what's on your plate. More anti-inflammatory foods, fewer processed or salty ones, or starting a daily walk. It might be practicing a few pelvic floor exercises in the morning while brushing your teeth. It might even be just taking 5 minutes a day to sit quietly, breathe deeply, and let your nervous system unwind. Don't underestimate these small efforts. They have a ripple effect across your entire health, including your prostate. When your blood flows better, inflammation can go down. When your stress eases, hormone balance improves. When you nourish your body from the inside out, every system, yes, even your urinary system, starts to respond with more energy, more stability, and more comfort. Now, for some of you watching this, maybe you've been dealing with symptoms for a while. Maybe you've felt too embarrassed to talk to your doctor or worried that bringing it up would lead to scary tests or medications. But here's something to keep in mind. Many of the best solutions don't involve surgery or harsh treatments. Many start with education, lifestyle adjustments, and natural remedies that support your body's own healing process. You just have to take that first step toward asking the right questions and being open to trying something new. And let's be honest for a moment, taking care of your prostate isn't just about avoiding discomfort. It's about holding on to your independence, your confidence, and your quality of life. It's about being able to travel without worry, sleep through the night, enjoy an outing without scanning the room for the nearest bathroom, and feel more in control again. These things matter deeply. They affect how you live, how you feel, and how you connect with the people around you. So here's what I want you to take away from all of this. You are not powerless, you are not broken, and you are certainly not too old to improve your health. If anything, now is the time to double down on living better, stronger, and smarter. You've already come this far. You owe it to yourself to keep going with confidence and clarity. Take a moment and think about what your next step will be. Is it changing something in your diet? Is it adding movement back into your day? Is it finally booking that appointment and having a real conversation with your doctor? Whatever it is, know that action is the antidote to worry. And even one small change today can help prevent bigger problems tomorrow.